Plaintiff Heather Moog says she and the defendant have been friends for 25 years. And in the last few years, he's been completely irresponsible. Heather says the defendant gets drunk and drives, and she's suing him today for the balance due on a loan. Defendant Joseph Brannon admits that he likes to go out and drink, but insists Heather is right there with him, and she's the one buying him the drinks. Joseph denies owing Heather for anything because she promised to get him a job and failed to do so.
Start with you.
Your Honor, Joseph and I have been friends for 25 years. We've been through a lot together. He's just done a lot of immature things in the last few years. You know, he's wrecked cars. He's went to the bar and done.
You was there with me on the bars?
Yes, I was. But I wasn't the one driving figure eights in the parking lot, smashing into a tree, and then driving the car home drunk. I didn't do that.
That's been years ago, though, Your Honor.
Not that many years, Joseph. Probably about 6, 7.
That's been years ago.
All right. You give us some background.
Well, Your Honor, my family and I have known Miss Mook for about 25 plus years. We lived behind her brother, and she met my parents, and we've all became good friends.
Good.
I even moved in with her and her husband at one point in time.
For free, by the way.
Come on now. As for free, I painted her living room one time. She didn't like the color, so I repainted it again. I bought food. I give her money when I had money. Be honest
Not when
now.
you live with me, Joseph.
Go to hell for lying.
No.
Tell the truth and shame
I
the devil.
spoke with my husband, allowed him to live with us. We allowed him to live with us so he could save his money, get out on his own. Because
But you make the man paint the same wall over and didn't give him any money.
Because he didn't buy the Alabama Crimson Red. He bought some bright red. Alabama Crimson Red is supposed to be
So
maroon.
you didn't see him when he was painting it the first time?
Yeah, and I told him, Joseph, that's not right. He said,
stopped him?
He said, I'm colorblind.
Well, are you too?
No.
Well, why didn't you say, I don't care what you are, and bring him the bucket yourself?
He done one wall. He done one wall, and I said, Joseph, he goes, it gets darker when it dries. I don't know. I don't paint. And when it
Let's
dries,
get off this paint.
you know?
All right, sir. Then what else you want to tell me about your friendship? She said you moved in and did not pay anything.
Oh, I paid what I could when I could. They were helping me out, trying to get me back on my feet. But I would give what I could when I could. That's why I painted the living room and did everything I could for.
That's why you could afford to buy a brand new car.
You bought a brand new car while
Yeah,
you
he
were
pulled
living
up in
under
my
their
driveway.
No,
That's why my
That's
husband
called
put you
ghetto
out.
fabulous.
I didn't buy a brand new car.
Buying what you want, begging for what you need.
It was a 2011, and
Exactly.
my car broke down, and my mom put that car in her name for me.
You have money to buy a car, but you don't have money to get a place to live. That's
Exactly.
ghetto.
That's why my husband told
Ghetto
me, you got to go.
fabulous.
I had no
like
car,
people who
Your
don't
Honor.
pay their rent, but they ride in the Mercedes. That's ghetto fabulous.
I was not riding no Mercedes. It was a Dodge, and it wasn't a brand new car
Your Honor,
at all.
he had a
I had
Lincoln Town
I had
car.
no car. If I didn't have a car, I wouldn't have been able to go to work to pay anything to be able to
So
buy.
you didn't use the money to pay your rent. You're living with them.
That's a lie. He was driving a 1991 Lincoln Town car. Because we laughed about it because the ladder would fit in the back seat when he would go to work. And then he comes driving up one day in a shiny, bright, red, new Dodge Charger. And my husband said, if you can afford that Dodge Charger, you can afford rent.
No, sir.
It was, what, a year or
Late
2
model.
years?
Really?
It was
You know, it was newer than our
It was
vehicle.
a 09 and 2012.
It was 3 years old. It was newer than the car I had,
You said it
my
was
2004
3
Jeep.
years old, and still didn't have a place to live.
Well, I could have lived with my parents.
Why didn't you? You
Because-
lived off of them. Would you have paid your parents?
I did give her money, but that, I mean, if you all want to say that I didn't, that's fine.
No, I'm not saying that. We're talking about you being ghetto fabulous right now. You're having to live under this woman's roof. Then you're talking about if I didn't live under her roof, I would have lived under my parents' roof. What about your own roof?
I sold my place to buy her sister's place. When I bought her sister's place, they told me it had to be moved, and I didn't have the money to move
There
it.
you go. You don't have the money for a
To
roof
move
over
it.
your head.
To move
Same
it.
thing, roof over your head.
But they told me that the trailer was there, was okay there. I was under the assumption I buy this trailer.
And you
I move
couldn't
it in.
afford to move it because you'd spent all your money on a new car.
He had a running car. It was just an old hoopty. And it didn't pick up all the girls.
What's your 1888?
Don't get
on the
jealous
loan?
about the
How does he
girl.
owe you for that?
Well, Your Honor, in the middle of March of 2016, he come to my house and he said, Heather, can you help me? And I was like, what now, Joseph? And he's like, I'm about to lose my home, because he did wind up buying a home.
You offered. Don't even. You offered to pay that for me because you and your husband was going to get me a job to where I could pay y'all back. Everything y'all asked me to do, I did. I signed that paper on that thing because y'all were supposed to get me a job, and y'all didn't. Y'all lied to me. Y'all sent me on everything. I did everything y'all asked me to do. Everything. And then what happened at the end? You didn't get me a job because what you say? My girlfriend ruined it for me?
I don't believe what I'm hearing. You are angry at these folks for not getting you a job. What responsibility do they have to you?
Because they loaned me the money because they knew they were getting me a job to pay.
They don't have a responsibility to get you a job. You're talking to them like they breached the contract. You all supposed to look through it. They were supposed to look through the ads.
Her husband was
call the place. Fill out the application.
Her husband did the application. Her husband did the application.
I'm not filling it out. Don't hand it to me.
her husband.
I'm not them. I'm not getting. I'm not finding your job.
March 28, 2016.
Dole might help. Can you help him with a job?
You just said I'll come to you in March to borrow the money.
Sir, get your own job, sir. Tell me about the loan again. I'm sorry.
He had gotten a house down by Dolphin Island, and it was through a trust. And he said, Heather, my friend got me this house, but the construction work has been rained out, and I'm $2,618 behind on my house. I'm going to lose it April 1st. I said, let me speak to my husband. My husband said, no way are you going to loan him this money. Well, my husband works out of town for 9 months to a year at a time. So I go behind my husband's back, write a check to the attorney for $2,618. Okay. And with the agreement that he signed, the promissory note he signed, it says he'll be paying me $300 a week. I said, Joseph, you can't afford $300 a week. And I said, I'll write down $150, and if you have a problem, come talk to me and we'll work things out. Just make an effort to pay me back, because that was the money for me to go see my grandchildren in England in September. And I said, I need my money back.
She's running off to England. Go ahead.
My husband's British, and we have grandchildren over there.
And you can afford it. That's the other part. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm messing with him. You can afford doing what you do.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. And by the way, let me clarify that ghetto fabulous. It's a mindset. It has nothing necessarily to do with income. It's a mindset. My mother we were poor as the devil, but she wasn't ghetto fabulous. She was working hard and supported all her 4 boys without any help, worked 2 jobs. Ghetto fabulous would have been if my mother went and bought a Cadillac and the 4 of us were short on food. That's ghetto fabulous. And it's really, if you want to use a nicer term, it's called financial illiteracy. You don't know how to spend your money properly. Spend it on a bunch of jewelry, expensive cars. When it's time for the child to go to college, you have 0 money. Do you owe these folks their money or not?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a defense?
Well, Your Honor, the way everything went, she come to me. Because I was stressing about losing my house. She said that I will help you, and we'll get you a job.
No, I did not.
We'll get you a job making $26 an hour, and when you make your first couple of paychecks, you could pay me back in full. And I said, yes, ma'am, I'll do that, no problem. All right, signed a promissory note. I did everything. They kept giving me the runaround, telling me, we're going to get you the job. We're going to get you the job. I said, okay, I'm sitting on G waiting on O.
You waiting on that job.
She said right here she said that they just finished up the paperwork on it. They're leading me to believe they're going to get me the job. Well, I did everything I could.
Looking for other jobs instead of sitting there waiting on them.
When they told me that they couldn't get me the job.
You have to note who has the agreement. And only way your defense will survive today, sir, is if this has that condition. You pay back if we get you a job. Let's see, does it say anything about them getting you a job on this?
We did try to help him get a job.
Right, but that's not part of the contract.
But that was nothing to do with the
contract. That was just goodwill that you all
I didn't offer to help him. He come and asked me because I made him sign that little letter.
You? All right, I'll give you a little credit. You have somebody. Might not have been anybody who was hiring.
Oh, I did get a job, and I started paying her money every week. And
Is that right?
Right there, Your Honor.
I was in construction.
On the bottom of
it
there?
rained, and I'd be out of work. And if I was out of work, I didn't make no money. I couldn't give her none. Well, I was out of work it rained in Mobile for like 3 weeks straight. I could not go to work because I'm a painter and in construction. Well, when I got back to work and I got a paycheck, I took her some money, the $150, and she told me
Quiet, he did.
She told me that she was not accepting my payments no more, that she wants it all in full.
I never said that.
She has that right, though, sir. Whenever you're delinquent on a debt, a person can collect immediately. They don't have to wait anymore. So folks should know that as well. Or there's another theory in the law called anticipatory breach, meaning they anticipate you're not going to pay them because they can see your circumstances. They can see the way you're acting with your money. You might be getting, they've heard you're about to skip town and not return. So they can sue you immediately, saying that they anticipate that you're going to breach. They got to prove it. As is the case with this, you have to also prove, sir, that they allowed you to provide the defense of getting a job as part of the contract. And they don't, sir. That's not on here.
Well, I knew it wasn't on there, but I mean, it was in the friendship talk when we were talking.
So that was goodwill friendship, and they didn't keep their word.
No, it wasn't that they didn't keep their word. She told me that my girlfriend, her and my girlfriend had it out, and then she told me after that she was not getting me the job.
That's the third excuse. $1,888. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
I'm going to see my grandbabies. Thank you.
Well, I mean, all the lies you sat there and told? All the lies you sat there and told. You want to sit there and tell them I ain't paying you no money? I ain't done nothing for you?
You paid me $730 in 2 years, Joseph.
You said I owe you 18, there's 16. I got to text 16.
Oh, yeah, that's because I was in Toledo, Ohio, and the paperwork was in the safe.
I tried to pay you the money.
I got every
You told me you didn't want my cash.
You owe me $1,888. Now, I want to go see my grandbabies, and it don't cost $100 a ticket.
Okay.